Hi, I would like to say a few words about collaboration in teaching. To me, there are different types of collaboration. Collaboration among students, collaboration with students, collaboration with fellow language teachers, and finally collaboration with core subject colleagues. Collaboration among students, this is quite simple and we all do it in our daily teaching, sharing a document, asking the students to exchange ideas, asking the students to work on a presentation. There are loads of tools and apps to promote collaborative activities, and distance is not a problem. The problem could be that the internet connection might not be working, or that the students may not have a camera where they can actually share their work. More elevated forms of collaboration include completing a course as a group. For example, in our unit, we have a course called Product Development, where the students have to create, our first year students have to create a game or an app or a product prototype, or later in their final year or third year of study, where they have to complete a capstone project, which is a real-life project with a real company. Collaboration with students. Here, from my experience, I work together with the students, usually to create materials or organize the orientation program for our first-year students. With Zoom, because when you use Zoom, you have to be like an octopus, you have to do 1 million things. I collaborate with students. Usually I ask one student to monitor comments or monitor the waiting room and admit students who are kicked out because their internet connection drops and then they have to rejoin. Collaboration with other teachers in the same school, in other words, team teaching. Okay. So this is something that is quite common, especially in our university. And also, I think, in Finland and in the Nordic countries. We have large groups to teach, so we actually, it's not uncommon to have 4 teachers working together or doing specific tasks in a course, taking care of particular parts. This can work very nicely. There are some conditions though. You have to trust the other teachers, you have to be open-minded, you need to be on the same wavelength and have similar attitude with the other teachers, and also quite the same sense of time and when you actually do things. So when I talk about attitude, I mean that you should be quite open, you should be willing to try new approaches, you have to be comfortable experimenting with digital tools, even though you might mess them up. It's okay, we all learn and we learn from our mistakes. And you also have to pick up things quickly, try something out, then have a go at it. Might work nicely, it may not work the first time, but you learn from it. And also taking care of small details without having to be told to do that. You take care of things. And a killer here is actually when the planning is not done very well and it's left like last minute, or when you actually improvise last minute. This is kind of, if you do things on the 11th and 45 minutes time, this can be a bit tricky. Then we have the highest and hardest level of collaboration, which is at the same time the most rewarding one, is the collaboration with the subject teachers, doing courses together, integrating your communication, your English communication skills into their core courses. So here we have a learning curve for everyone, for the other teachers, and also like for me as an English teacher, because I get to know what they do in their subjects and what kind of things I am expected to teach the students to help them prepare for the communication needs they would have in their working life. The students really like that because they like to have like the full care package. We're basically grooming them for working life. And it's actually very, very nice, and it's very interesting because you get to learn things about what the students are studying. Okay. I said that it is hardest because it doesn't happen automatically. And also, it's not just the will of one or two people that want to do work together, but it more or less has to do with the organizational culture. Like, does this university or University of Applied Sciences or vocational school encourage this kind of collaboration? This is very important to be supported by, you know, the higher level management. And also it takes time to establish, because in order to get something right, you need to have like 3 or 4 runs, you know, of the course. Here there is also a slight danger, because the role of the language teacher sometimes can be overpowered. For example, language teachers, we should not be kind of used as dictionaries or proofreading tools. So the collaboration will have to be actually real. And this is something that I find that my colleagues really appreciate, the effort I put into coordination and also like communicating. For example, you know, when tasks have to be communicated to the students. So what can you do to enhance collaborations with core teachers or even professionals working in the field? Okay. First of all, you can start by attending some of the lectures, you know, that the core teacher provides. This will give you a background to what they do, and if you don't have an integrated course, you can kind of pick things from there and then incorporate them into your teaching, and the students are happy because they get realistic tasks and they see the connection between what you do and what they do in their subject, yeah. You can ask to be present when students present their specialization, projects or assignments, okay. You can take part in virtual, nowadays, fairs or events targeted at students. It all adds up. It gives you an idea of what they have to do. And if possible, take part in R&D projects, because this is where you see communication in action. But your greatest resource is your students. So you can ask them to teach you about what they study, and your task is to try to unleash their passions for what they study.